Chapter 19. The Walls Have Ears. Dr. Facilier would have been proud to know that, at that very moment, his daughter Celia was cutting class and sneaking around the aisle of the walls instead of sitting through another boring lecture about the history of evil. After failing to sell Evie on another fortune reading, Celia had snuck out of Dragon Hall through the basement, which led to an underground tunnel system that snaked all around the island. It was an easy way to get around without being seen. The tunnels were dark and damp, and rumor had it that magic had once run wild down here, creating wondrous lands underneath the island, along with a pathway that led to Oridon itself. That is, until Mal and her friends had shut off the entrance to the catacombs, and the magical barrier was reinforced once more. Celia recalled glumly. Now there was just the one underground channel through a leftover mine shaft. Celia was winding through the mine shaft and approaching Hades' cave when she heard a new voice inside with him. Hades hardly ever had visitors. It was why she ran errands for him sometimes. So who was there now? The voice sounded highly annoyed. Celia strained her ears until she recognized it with a start. That could only belong to one surely pirate queen, Uma. Uma was back. What were they talking about? Celia tried to press her ear to the wall, but she couldn't make out much. Something about the barrier, it sounded like, click, open and out, she heard Uma say, but it was hard to hear the rest. I'll take care of Mal, she heard Hades say. There was more murmuring, and then Hades boomed, now scram! That she heard loud and clear. The door to the cave opened with a bang, and Celia pressed herself against the tunnel walls, hoping Uma wouldn't see her, but Uma never appeared. She suddenly wasn't in Hades' cave anymore, though. After his outburst, Hades' lair had gone silent. Take care of Mal? Click, open and out? What was that? What were Hades and Uma planning? It had to be an escape of some sort, a way to get off the Isle of the Lost. That was all Uma and every other villain on the Isle had ever wanted. Celia felt her heart beat loudly in her chest. She bolted out of the tunnel and ran all the way back up to Dragon Hall, where she bumped into Dizzy, who was leaving her introduction to scheming class. She and Dizzy had become good friends ever since Dizzy had designed her the little hat she wore. At least as good of friends as anyone could be on the Isle. Celia loved her hat. Dizzy, she recalled, trying to push her way through the crowd of villains in the hallway. Yes? Asked Dizzy, pushing up her glasses. Celia looked around the halls to make sure no one was listening. Want to hear the craziest thing? She liked being the first to know and share gossip around the Isle. I guess so, said Dizzy, looking wary. They're going to let 4 more kids from here go to school in Oridon, said Celia, just like Mal and her friends. Dizzy yelped in glee. They are? Do you think they'll finally take me? You were invited. Of course they'll take you. But this means 3 more kids will get to come too. Maybe I'll be one of them, said Celia. Dizzy squealed. That would be wicked. Wicked good, you know. And I could finally hang out with my older sister Freddie too. She owes me some money from when I read her fortune before she left. Oh, Celia, said Dizzy, you never change. I know. Celia drummed her fingers together and smirked. Dizzy gave her a look that said she didn't approve of whatever Celia was scheming, but Celia just laughed. Then she remembered the next part of her news. Oh, and she was about to tell Dizzy more, but the second bell rang, and Dizzy had to run.